Welcome to the Travel Agency in a Year podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Kay, and I'm a travel advisor helping travel advisors become the CEO of their business. Yep. If you have any other questions or you want to know more about me, head over to elevatewithrachelk.com. Remember my own website. Yay me. Today is day 32. And I mentioned, let me get my handy dandy notebook out here that I always have around actually. I know that I've mentioned this in the last 10 days or so. Active listening for client retention, client conversion. And I want to talk these next few episodes, honestly, because I have so much about it. Little backstory. When I took my first speech 101 in college, it was like mind blowing because the teacher was like, you've got to learn active listening. And we did these crazy cultural deep dives, like how different cultures listen to each other and communicate with each other. It was an awesome class. And it was at a community college, by the way. Fabulous teacher. Wish I remember her name. Though that really, I was like 19, mm, but it really blew my mind like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not fully listening to people. And it's been something that I've been practicing to the best of my ability, developing. You're never going to be perfect all the time, but I wanted to talk about the benefits of active listening just as a leader, because you are all leaders, sir or madam listening. You all are leaders. You are running your own business. You're a leader. Done. Period. The end. What are the benefits of learning how to become or develop your active listening skills as a leader and a small business owner? Great question. Number one, when you are actively listening to your BDMs or your leads or your current clients or your past clients or your colleagues or anyone that has anything to do with your business, your CPA, your business attorney, anyone, anywhere. But we're going to base this off the client in particular because my notes are all like client based. You are conveying the message that what your client is saying is actually valuable information. And I'm going to do, I think tomorrow's episode is more deep dive on like how to display your actively listening, how to practice actively listening. This episode is just the benefits. So I actually say this a lot in my live Q&As. I'm like, it's just like dating, everybody. You got to listen. And if you are in a meeting with someone, let's say face to face, and you're just like rolling your eyes and and crossing your arms and you get really closed off body language, that person is going to be like, "Well, you clearly don't value me." You compress your lips because you are that's low key body language like you don't want to say something, but you really want to say something, but you're like holding it back. A lot of little body language cues, micro expressions that you can give away that gives the energy and the message to your client. I don't find what you have to say to be valuable. But it's very important to show that you value the people in your life. Okay. So, benefit number one, they're going to be like, oh, you actually value what I have to say, even if I have no idea what I'm talking about. You're going to have a greater understanding and it's going to foster safety like for your clients interacting with you because you are showing that you are a thoughtful listener. Like they can express their frustrations. They can, even if it's not, it doesn't have to be frustration with you. If it's like a lead and they're just like, I'm so frustrated. I can't figure this out. And I'm feeling overwhelmed. And there's so many choices and there's so many travel advisors out there like telling me I got to book with them and I don't know who to work with. Then you can just say, like, if you're on a phone call, I get that a lot, honestly. So I'm typically saying I totally understand that. It's so overwhelming. There are thousands of resorts for you to choose for your wedding because I do destination weddings mostly. And that's what I'm here for. So let's talk about what you actually want for your wedding day And then that's going to help me help you create this vision. But if I don't know exactly what you want, I can't narrow down locations and possible venues. And that really puts them at ease because it's like, let's take all that stupid noise out there. I'm so sick of the noise, by the way. Let's take all that noise out of this picture and let's you and I just have a conversation about what your dream wedding looks like. And that creates a lot of safety with them. It also enables you to really hone in and provide feedback on the dream trip. So, back to the wedding consultations that I'm doing, when I'm listening to them, I ask them for their ceremony and event budget. And then I ask for every single bit of their wedding day and the whole wedding weekend, additional events if they want them. And then I ask about the group dynamic and the general idea of what they think the group would reasonably be willing to spend to travel. And I will provide them honest feedback. And I will say to them, like, your budget is far too small for the number of guests you are expecting. You're going to have to double this at a minimum if you want to hit all these points. But even if you eliminate the least of your wants on this list, you're still going to spend more than what this budget is that you have in mind. So I would suggest that you cut your guest list down or be willing to spend more money. You know what I mean? Like, or conversely, they're like, we only have $100,000 for our wedding. And I'm like, that's plenty of money. Like, you're fine. Don't worry about that. What are you, nuts? Oh, wait, you live in New York City. Okay, got it. Like, you can get married in Mexico for far less than that. But you want to be able to provide that honest feedback. And those people that maybe they don't want to spend. So I do that for the ceremony and events. If you're doing like FITs, and you may not want to ask the budget right away because that's kind of putting them in control unless you phrase it in a certain way. Like, let's talk about how much you're willing to spend on this trip and then what your dream trip is. Like, that's the only way you can really phrase it without being like, what's your budget? How many nights? So, if you do FITs and you ask for the budget, that's great. But you could also just wait and hear what their entire dream, whatever they've got in their head of how they want to make this happen. And then at the end is when you can come in and say, let's talk about budget for this time of year for what you're looking to do. You can expect approximately this range. Is that something you can afford? So you can do like either way. If you do it the other, like the former method, you can ask them, tell me about your trip and tell me your budget expectations. But I want to know all the details of the trip because then instead of telling them like, this is how much you have to spend, what if it's someone that's like, this is literally all I have to spend? But then you can be like, okay, well, we can maybe take this off or shorten this trip a little bit or take these experiences out. What is the most important thing for you to get this going? So there's two different ways that you can provide feedback for like FITs. And if you want to do destination weddings and really know what ceremony and events costs, that's kind of what I do. Okay. Next tip is it creates a shared expectation of how you need to treat each other. If you are not demonstrating that you are listening actively to your leads and your clients, you are communicating. You don't got to listen to me. You don't got to listen to me, bud. I don't care about your frustrations. I don't care about what you're struggling with. I don't care about what you're nervous about for your honeymoon. Like, no, I want the money, Slabowski, and goodbye. So that's going to communicate to them that they don't have to respect you either. Do you want to be respected by your clients or your BDM or your host agency, maybe? Or if you're not hosted, but you're like a sub agent, the agency owner. Like, if you want to foster the expectation of respect, you need to communicate with people in a respectful manner. Okay. So those are my tippy twos, the benefits of active listening and practicing it, and how it can help you as a business owner and a leader. And tomorrow's episode is going to be how to actually practice better active listening because we all need help with that. It's fine. If you like this episode, please share with a travel advisor you know that's would also like this episode. Or maybe subscribe or like it or whatever. Come back tomorrow. Any of those options are fabulous. Otherwise, have a great day. Well, yeah.